Flight TV is on the air, the program for people in love with the sky. The sponsor of this episode is the Aerovolga company, which continues mass production of the amphibious La-8 and the development of the two-seater amphibious Northwind. We go to Alexander Shvitkin in the studio. Hello. Another HeliRussia International, with a helicopter only in Russia. Pandora's box and Malevich's square. What were the pilots looking for in the vicinity near Moscow Severka? Aviation news. At the airport Volzhanka, the Federation of Aviation Enthusiasts and the leisure park Yurievskoye held a competition for precision landing. The complexity of these events lies in the fact that the markings weren't near the end of the strip, but closer to the center. The first place was taken by Yuri Volodyarsky, the second by Viktor Ajibayeva, and the third by Oleg Lavrov. Prizes were certificates for free accommodation in cottages of the recreation park Yurievskoye for 3 days, for 2 days, and a day, respectively. The media had a lot to say about the HeliRussia exhibition held in Moscow. Federal channels reported on various helicopter company contracts for millions of dollars and billions of rubles. We walked through the exhibition with the eyes of your average, ordinary pilot. Yevgeny Maximov shows us what the exhibition had to offer. HeliRussia 2015 gathered more than 200 participants from 11 countries and nearly 11,000 visitors, surpassing the achievements of previous years. Despite some economic difficulties, the production and sale of machinery and equipment continued, and buyers realized that the market is in them, and that this summer they will be offered good prices. First, many private pilots went to the stand of the company HeliWhale from Kemerovo, where there was a new Russian-made, double-speed, ultralight coaxial helicopter called the Afalina. The helicopter is in the process of development, and dozens of private pilots shared their opinions. In Moscow, it was very well received in spite of a lot of criticism. It is very good, and we see what we need to do, what we need to change, and where we need to go. Already a strong buzz has started. Everyone is interested in it, and they're asking about it. The main question is, when will it fly? We spoke more about Afalina in the 4th episode of our program, and after the story we also had a few emails with questions about where it will be sold. But the company's policy has not changed. Pre-orders before the first test flights will not be accepted. There are a few obscure issues that could affect the final price, the main one of which is the helicopter's engine. At the moment, Yakov is going with a version of the Rotax 914, but at the same time, he is in search of a budget engine that can even be produced in Russia. Indeed, sometimes a solution can be found in the most unexpected places. For example, technology for linking the main gearbox bearing system is produced by neighbors from Tomsk, who originally made it for electric locomotives. We have developed a new profile-toothed gear wheel, which is superior to all the technical and economic parameters of involute engagement. The makers of the Afalina have developed a gear based on this system. There were no other companies who could build this mechanism to the specifications of the customer. We calculated the case and made the design documentation. According to the developer, this gearing is several times cheaper than involute, and they rated it for 5,000 hours. Provided that the helicopter flies at face value without overloading, the parts can be repeatedly extended. Also, thanks to the invention, the Afalina will be relieved of that part of the transmission which is responsible for vibration in helicopters. Involute engagement is kinetically noisy. It gives vibration and transmitted torque, and therefore more vibration. Our transmission does not vibrate. It does not give a pulsating torque that is to be transmitted, so it can be fast, and the main thing is that it is silent. In parallel with the development of the Afalina, Yakov Kolesnik is fanatical about private pilots and developing useful things for them to buy. For example, a mechanical hover training simulator and special ski-equipped skids for landing in the snow. We make expansion skids on helicopters like the Robinson 44, 66, and the Eurocopter, and now we make additional fuel tanks in the Robinson 66, which are placed under the seat. Next to the Afalina, there was another two-seater helicopter, the Denali. It's not very fast, but it's quite cheap relative to its classmates, in particular the US Robinson R-22. They're similar helicopters, they perform the same task, but ours is 2 times cheaper. This is the basic idea, to put people in the helicopter which they can afford. Few people can afford the Robinson helicopter because of the cost of $500,000. Very expensive, actually. This is a completely different level of income. Our helicopter in Russia, that's the one you see in the background, it's worth about 190,000 euros. It's already being cleared and decorated and so on. The design and engine of the Denali is very simple, unpretentious, and cheap to maintain. The cost of a full hour of helicopter flight is 3 to 3,500 rubles, considering 95 gasoline, spare parts, and depreciation. Generally, this is limited to a helicopter's engine. 2,000 hours is the durability of the engine which is installed, the Subaru DS25. This conversion is a famous Japanese-American sports engine, a very reliable engine. They did a little adapting for this role. In Russia, the Belgian helicopter sold not so long ago, but it is being bought and flown. In Siberia, 2 in Moscow, and 1 in Bashkortostan. Among the helicopter novelties, it was a bit strange to see the well-known Me-2 at the show, which arrived here from a Moscow aircraft repair plant. It turned out everything is simple. The Me-2 is in fashion again. With the fall of the ruble, operators are taking the Me-2 out of storage, and their further operation is more advantageous than the purchase of foreign machines. There are those customers who, for various reasons, go from the operation of helicopters like Robinson and return the Me-2 into operation because it is an undeservedly forgotten machine. With the current exchange rate difference, it is substantially cheaper than any analogs of this class. I know that just in the Krasnodar region there are about 100 machines. Not all of them are under operation at the moment, but a large number of machines are being preserved because demand is expected to rise. Yevgeny Maximov, Marat Mansurov, Flight TV.
The most popular, proven, and reliable amphibian flying boat in Russia. Certified structure, extreme simplicity of mastering and flying, super short takeoff and landing distances, just 230 feet. Negligible cost of spare parts and maintenance, less than $30 per flight hour. Very attractive purchase price, just $80,000 for a brand new airplane.
The Federation of Aviation Enthusiasts, following its promises, continues to organize activities and entertainment for private pilots. In Severka, they held aeronautical flights with intriguing names, Malevich's Square and Pandora's Box. I give the floor to our correspondent, Olga Kuznetsova. Flight TV welcomes you to the airport Severka. Today there is a real adventure. Pilots, sportsmen, and amateurs looking for a Pandora's box and riding Malevich's Square. But seriously, here today is a real competition in which we, and you by the way, are participants. The competition has already begun, and speaking about it is the president of the Federation of Aviation Enthusiasts, Nikolai Mikhailovich Mazurin. Nikolai Mikhailovich, tell us what will happen here today. The competition is that the pilot is assigned to a particular box to find a specific target. It is not an easy task, much like the task of scouts who dealt with the same during the Great Patriotic War. The pilot at a particular time must enter into this box, find an object via photo, and then fly out of the square through certain input and output gates. That's the problem. Who does it quickly and with quality will be the winner. Do not think that a photograph is easy to find, because in the first place, the square is not so small, 10 by 10 kilometers. And secondly, the organizers of the competition made the photo a bit encrypted, and so it's serious hard work, but very interesting. It should be noted that the film crew of Flight TV was very lucky with its crew. The commander of our aircraft is Sergei Gavrilenko. He is a master of sports, the man who invented and brought to life these competitions, a player and a coach, inspiring his students to capture new heights. Sergei showed me our square. Sergei, tell us a little bit about the rules, because this is the first time we are participating in these competitions. We have a photograph with us, and you try to understand where it hypothetically may be. But in this case, there is a certain body of water. You can even see part of the forest and the town, some road too. Of course, it may be on the map or it may not be. It's a dirt road. Therefore, today we will try to determine where there may be a combination of the pond, the forest, and the village. For time, we have about 9 minutes, so we can fly at any speed. Most importantly, there is some logic to what you are looking at in this picture, but in our case, you can draw how you would fly. By the meter? No, in general, how would you connect the dots to fly all the points that we see in this picture? Putting the dots in order, there are exactly 6. Let's see how feminine intuition works. Therefore, we are with you and we will join them once we are back at the airfield. Here we have prepared a map with you. Now it remains only to go on the plane, request permission to take off, and in due time, to fly. Alright, let's fly then? Yes. We went on a mission. Our crew also included cameraman Alexander Moiseev. We took off on time and flew towards our objective. Now for our task. Many mistakes can be made when leaving the airport, because if we are wrong, you come to the entrance gate of the square and clip the border or cross ahead of the square, and we will be penalized. For simplicity and our understanding of it, it is sufficient to fly from here to the left of the road. We must set the time when crossing. We have 50 more minutes. If we pass through early, we will be penalized. Later it will be permitted, because you will have less time. We still have 30 seconds before entering. We go a little bit earlier. For this we lowered the flaps and reduced speed, and then the route drawn on the map begins. We first need to reach here before the big lake. There it is on the left. And we have with you, somewhere in the forest, a railroad, see? Here you can see this field. This is followed by the forest again. Please note that we are with you. Cross the forest adjacent to the railway, and we have here only a small piece, the rest is part of the town. Turn back to the right. We need you to fly over the water. Here is a feature, it's a dam. So this is not in the picture. The third attempt was successful. We found a point at the scheduled time, of course not without the help of Sergei Vasilievich. I'll ask you to try to identify the photo. You can rotate the photo, it can be viewed from any angle. This is the charm. Here's the forest lake. Here we have found you. Hooray, we found it. No, I didn't help. That was all you. Let's get back to our airfield. We arrived and released the aircraft for the following participants. Right. Speaking of participants, there were 13, including athletes and amateurs. Specifying the first was more difficult, but after all, the pros trained seriously. But Andrei Kharitonov flew for the first time at such a competition, and was also looking for Malevich's square. I had never been before. I didn't ask anybody anything. I just got in the plane and went somewhere. I must say that it is necessary to train. It is necessary to learn and try. It is necessary to improve my skills and go to the next level. Second place was Pyotr Sidorov, and third was the private pilot Mikhail Moiseev. I was able to navigate through the area to pass all the interesting points. The weather was good, and the management of the plane was good, as is my mood. Attention! The winner of our competition will be announced by Gavrilenko Sergei Vasilievich, a creative pilot and an interesting companion. And the winner of our competition is the crew of Dmitry Uspensky and Andrei Trubkin. 0 penalty points, and they somehow managed to fly in 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Winners of the celebration and the organizers have conceived something new. Well, we look forward to it. Olga Kuznetsova, Marat Mansurov, Flight TV. B91 aviation gas for Lycoming engines, the long-proven quality. Airvan Company, the official distributor of the Water Aviation Group, the manufacturer of B91 aviation gasoline. The Aerovolga Company, manufacturer of the amphibious La-8, enters the market with a new project, a 2-seater amphibian called North Wind. The company has signed a protocol of intentions and is preparing a contract for the supply of 5 of the planes in Europe at a price of $85,000 each. And there are still 5 machines on this promotional price of $85,000. Don't be late, reserve one today. In the future, the price of the Northwind will be about $125,000. Both private pilots and large aircraft use services. On regular commercial flights, it can be like riding a bus with wings. Stewardesses and stewards bring food and drinks, but they are real people and sometimes even they take a break from their templates. Today in our traditional no comment section, a pre-flight briefing in the original performance. I say goodbye to you. If you like the episode, show your likes on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You've been with Alexander Shvitkin. I'll see you.